Pedro and Angel, you have to be very, very, very nice to them. They've been incredibly generous with their time because it will come as no surprise that they are in the middle of the harvest to join us this evening. But it is incredibly busy time at this time of the year in any winery. So yeah, without further ado, let's bring them in.
Hello.
Hello.
Buenos días. Buen día. Pedro and Angel, thank you very much. Nice to see you. Just for everybody, Pedro is in red and Angel is with the big beard.
He's been in lockdown as well from the hairdresser or the barber.
So you guys, you're brothers, yes?
Yes, we're brothers.
And so you've been busy with harvest at the moment, obviously.
Yes. We usually harvest in the middle of October, but this year and last year the harvest has been sooner. So we're in the middle of the harvest right now.
And what is, for the purpose of our guests here, our viewers, why is the harvest sooner?
Why is it early?
Because we had a really warm spring, and also it was lots of water, lots of rain in the spring. So both things coming together, we had an early harvest this 2020.
And is that good news to you?
The quality is really good.
Yeah, this year is a bit strange, not only for the circumstances, but it's an early harvest. But with the harvest moon, we have temperatures like minimum of 3 degrees at night. So we're already in autumn time.
That's really good for quality.
Wow. But you still have t-shirts on?
No, because we are inside. But outside you need a jacket, yeah.
Really? And so I think everybody will be interested. In Spain, the pandemic has been a problem. Has it caused you any problems in the vineyards, in the winery?
A little bit at the beginning, trying to find labor to pick the grapes and also to do the green pruning. But everything has been okay. So we're still working with the same people that we work every year. So
I think labor was one of the main problems, but we solved it because we work with the same people. And also working with wine. Wine in Spain is considered food, so it's within the essential activities. So we could keep on working every day.
Absolutely.
I like it.
In this country, you would be known as key workers.
I like it, and it's a very good point actually that Angel makes there, because wine is part of food. It forms part of the GDP. And that's why there are government subsidies for Spanish wine. So anybody who's thinking about English wine, it does not form part of the GDP. And therefore, it is not subsidized. And therefore, anybody who's looking for English wine, you have to expect to pay a little bit more for it. That's how it is, unfortunately. We're not Spanish.
So we have to look at your wines. Since we met you, Pedro, when you came to our office that Friday morning, and we tasted all your wines, and we could easily have taken all of them. But the 3 that we currently are listing are the 1999, the 94, and the 2006.
Yes.
Now, this evening we were deciding what should we open and taste, because we can't taste all the wines every evening. So we have currently opened the 2006, which...
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. We have we brought all 3 of them, just in case. So which one did you open?
2006.
2006?
2006.
Okay. And cheers with the 2006.
Cheers.
So we have, we did decant because we know that this is necessary, and we always recommend it to our customers that they should use their decanters, because people never do. And go on.
Look, yes, I can do that too. Look.
There we go. Across nation. So cheers, and cheers to everybody who is here.
To everybody, thanks for the opportunity.
Salud.
So,
Cheers.
Salud. Salud. Salud.
So Pedro and Angel, one question that we all have. These are very old wines, all of them. And tell us a little bit, when do you decide to release the wines from your cellars? Because we've only had these for a few years, but they are old already. So when do you decide when they get released?
It's by, for, I think it's two main reasons. One is obviously tasting. When we think it's ready to go, I think that's the right time. And also when one vintage is over, is finished, we jump to the next vintage.
And also having like bad vintages let us be in a spot where no one else is around. So when everybody is done with the vintage, then because we are placed in a very cold place in Rioja, our wines need time to develop. So our wines get as far as where not many wines can get. So this is where they better develop.
And one thing, I think Urbina is a little bit different than other wineries because we don't work with the same vintage or the next vintage every year, you know, because we are a small producer, so we don't have enough volume, enough wine to sell for supermarkets, so we only work with the independents. And for instance, if a year is really, really good, it's an excellent vintage, we maybe produce lots of Reservas and Gran Reservas. But if a year is really, really good, maybe only 20%, 30%, 50% of the production will be Reservas and Gran Reservas. And if a year is difficult for us, maybe we don't produce these ones. And we may jump to other vintages. So what I'm trying to say is that maybe some vintages, you can find them for longer period of time in the market. And some vintages, they go away really fast because we just bought a few bottles of those vintages. So I don't know if
we have sense. A lot of people. We have a lot of people this evening who are drinking the 99, which you made as a crianza, but that's the one.
I can do that too. I can do that too.
And a lot of other people have got the bottles and are waving them now. And it's interesting because people expect older wines to be the Reservas and Gran Reservas, yet the 99 is so lovely now still, and it's got quite a lot of age to it. Yeah. When did you release the 99 for sale?
We've been working with 1999 for a long time already. Now, the thing why 1999 maybe is more fruit driven than the other vintages that we are tasting tonight is because with 99 it's a wine that it's been longer in the vat, and the bigger the container where you keep the wine will age at a slower motion. So that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons this wine is more. It feels sometimes it feels even younger than the 2006. More or less. For the people who are listening, the bigger the container, the wine ages at a slow motion. For instance, a wine in a Magnum, which is a liter and a half bottle of wine, the same wine will age at a slower motion than in the regular bottle of 75 centiliters.
So the questions that we're trying to ask here is that it's a 1999 bottle of wine, so it's nearly 20 years. It's 21 years old. It's been in a tank for 3 years, but it's been in bottle for 17, 18 years, and it's only now becoming available on the market because they consider it not appropriate to release them until now. And this is so unusual because normally you don't get this aged wines, and it makes it unique, very, very unique. Arguably, most wines on the market are sold and they're drunk too early, and they don't get to their point of maturation. But these do, And that's the really nice thing about Urbina, and they are very, very unique in the wine trade as well. If you ask anybody in the wine trade, trade people will always talk about Urbina because because of the uniqueness. So I was just explaining a little bit about that. Yeah.
So also when we saw you, Pedro, you were saying that the winery, you were moving to organic certification. I think, if I remember correctly, it was a while ago now. So
because you need to be 4 years to start. And also this year with the mildew was a bit also difficult year, but we keep working. If you only have one plot, it's very easy. But if you have you want to have consistency on the volume and be true to your heart with the organic, it's very difficult to balance. So we're working on it.
Okay. But I guess it has to be said that you always farm with the environment in mind. Therefore, even if you aren't officially organic, you still take care to work organically in producing your wines anyway.
Okay. Pedro and Angel, I have a question. Because we always talk about organics, and it's very, very expensive to get organic certification. Can you tell us how much it costs to get your organic certification? How much do you think it costs?
That's a big question.
Organic agriculture maybe is 30% more expensive because you have to work more in the vineyards, taking care of the vineyards. Sometimes you lose the crop because of the rot. So I think an honest organic viticulture will be 30% more than a regular agriculture.
But to get the certification?
I think maybe 6,000 euros to get all. You need to get the let's say when people comes to examine your vineyard, take the samples, and all the paperwork you have to make. I guess if you hire a consultant to take all the process, it will be around 6,000.
Oh,
it's a big.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
We have a question. Sorry, we have a question from one of our viewers here, Tim and Emma. They have all three of these vintages, and they would like to know which one is your favorite, and also what is your suggested food pairing with the wines, or the favorite?
For me, I like three of them. They're just different. 1999 or 2006, because for me, I think everyone will enjoy those wines, because in my opinion, they are really round. It means it doesn't have too much acidity, it doesn't have too much oak, it's not too old, it's not too young. Like everything is like really, really well balanced. So it's a secure value. Imagine we throw a party tomorrow, a birthday party, and you invite friends, family. Everyone has a different palate. And I think these two wines, or especially 2006, everyone will enjoy the wine. I think it's impossible for someone to say he doesn't like the wine. So the most typical dish here in Rioja is called chuletillas al sarmiento. Chuletillas is lamb ribs, baby lamb ribs, and it's grilled with the vine twigs, the vine canes. That type of wood, it gives a really smoky flavor and aroma to the meat. So I think Gran Reserva 1994 goes really well with those, like smoky earthiness dishes.
Yeah, that makes sense, actually. In fact, we have a couple of vine roots here. Maybe we should light the barbecue tomorrow.
Yeah, we should try it.
And we have lamb, so that sounds like a great combination.
Very good pairing.
So have you been taking visitors at the winery since, with all the lockdown and coronavirus?
Regional restriction. So we can make tours, but they have to be 5 plus the guide. 5 people, groups of 6 people, 5 plus the guide. Small groups, and with everybody. And during the visit, you can only take off the mask to taste the wine.
Well, that's good. That's good.
That's good courtesy.
Otherwise, it would be a disaster.
We have another question here from Simon, another one of our viewers, and he's asking which vintages that are still maturing are you really excited about? Have you got a real treasure that is going to be released in the near future?
See, I think with Urbina, vintages can be important, but maybe they're not that important. What I'm trying to say is that every year, every vineyard is slightly different. For instance, if a year we have lots of water, lots of rain, the soil that has more pebbles, is more sandy, is much better because all the water will drain. And if a year we have a lack of water, a lack of rain, the soil that is more clay is much better because it retains all the moist. So what I'm trying to say is that every vintage we have different vineyards that they work better than others. And our job is to put that quality in different vessels and produce different wines. Also, answering that question, sometimes people always ask me why you put Especial in the label. When we use the word Especial, is that it doesn't really matter the vintage. We think that quality is excellent, is the best.
And when we finished all the 1999, it would be the 2000. We have, and then for 2000.
I think that's the answer to the question. So the next one is going to be 2000. Okay.
And then we have some secret batch of 2001 Gran Reserva. Maybe in 5 to 10 years we will release it. That will be.
Okay. That's unless you've drunk it.
Huh?
Unless you drink it.
Yeah, we're locked up for a long time.
I have a question, Pedro and Angel. A lot of people consider Rioja wine to be a big, powerful red wine, but your wines are not. They're not massive. They're really lovely and, like you said, rounded. And do you think a definition of Rioja should be big and powerful, or do you think it should be more mellow?
Rioja is also has different regions. We are in Rioja Alta, in the more northwest part of the region, of the wine region, which means the coldest climate, right on the border for vine growing. That's why we harvest in the middle of October, which is quite late. The rest of Europe tends to be at the end of September. South of Spain, the Mediterranean, tends to be at the end of August. And I think that a slow ripening of the grape makes the wine much softer.
And in order to get an idea of how cold this area is, we can almost only plant Tempranillo, that is an early ripening grape, and we are harvesting at middle of October. Sometimes people ask me, how are you facing the global warming? And I said, we are ready because by the time we harvest here at Graciano over-ripened, maybe we don't want to be in this world. Because from here to the lower part of Rioja, there is a 4 degrees difference, 4 degrees every day.
Wow.
So
that's a big
here, if we plant Graciano, it's very acidic. I mean, 100% Graciano from Cuzcurita is very hard to drink.
Okay, well, let's not drink it.
No, we don't want that.
You can put a little bit on the blend, but 100% is very acidic.
Okay.
So in the UK, Rioja wines are very popular. I mean, when we take our stands at events, when we used to do events, often people will say if they like their red wine, they would like Malbec or Rioja. These are the two buzzwords, aren't they? But definitely the supermarkets here tend to sell the big brands. So the Campo Viejo, and that's what people know Rioja as, and often tend to be very oaky and quite young, I guess. Do you think these wines that are so popular, why do you think they're so popular, I guess is my question. And are they as popular in Spain? Do the Spanish drink these big, oaky, younger wines, or are you more refined?
I think that they are more popular because they are really easy available and a very competitive price because of the huge volumes they made. So people in a day-by-day life, they are used to whatever they have easy to get. So, and that's the supermarket wine. So,
yeah.
See, maybe the biggest one, the more commercial, maybe the biggest producers, the wine maybe is more oaky. They have that style, but we think oak is like a makeup. You know, just a little bit is good, but if you overdo it, it's not good.
It's like a gypsy.
Or you can taste
I think for me, when we buy old barrels, I think to buy an old barrel is like when you go into the shop to buy to the tailor to buy a dress, a jacket. If your wine is delicate, you need not much oak, you know, because otherwise it's not going to be well balanced. You know, everything is about balance and equilibrium. In my opinion, and I understand that some people like really strong oak wines, and well, I think there's a palate for everything.
So is 2020 this harvest? Is it looking good?
I think so.
Yes, it's looking really, really good. We are now, some of the wines are almost, the first ones are almost finished fermenting, and they're very, very nice.
Okay. So, Pedro, and when do you think we will see the 2020 vintage in a bottle?
You won't be here.
You're going too fast. There's no hurry. I think the most exotic thing about this area where we live is that the really good wines, they can age for a really long period of time. And I think that's one of the reasons why Rioja became famous in the past. And the weather is slightly colder, so we get that slow ripening of the grape. But also, everything that you produce slowly, it will age better. And also, at colder temperature or climate, you get more acidity. And the acidity is also a passport for the wine to be able to travel in time. And,
yes.
And I think that's the genetic of this wine. If you taste, we think wine is supposed to be a liquid expression of a place. When you smell and taste the wine, you have to imagine the area. So this nice acidity, you will bring to your imagination a fresh, cool climate, especially in October and September.
I think the nice thing about this, for everybody who's listening, it doesn't matter whether you're drinking the 1994, the 1999, or the 2006. The wines do have this freshness, and Pedro is talking about the acidity, which is very important to retain that freshness. And it does make the wines nice and light and accessible. And I think also, it makes me think of Guinness. Guinness for those who wait. We just have to be incredibly, incredibly patient with Urbina wines, and they will eventually come true. So,
but we don't have to wait because you're waiting for us, and you will give them to us when they're ready, which is the wonderful thing.
Yeah. Listen, Pedro, Angel, it's been a real pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us, and we appreciate your time is very important to you at the moment. Please send us a video of you in the vineyards harvesting your grapes, or you've probably already done that bit, or maybe in the winery. But keep in touch because we'd love to hear more from you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much for your time again. We won't hold you up much longer because I'm sure you need food and sleep and some more wine.
Pedro's drinking his wine. He's okay.
Okay, thank you very much for
Thank you.
Cheers.
Nice to see you guys.
Bye.
See you again soon, we hope. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. Okay, everybody, it's just us now. So that was Pedro and Angel. Nice guys.
So nice of them to join us. Yeah, really such delicious wines, and we've enjoyed them for years now, and we know that a lot of you have as well. So
it's true to say also that when Pedro came in to join us, he and we tasted his wines with him. He was talking about putting the 1994 with foie gras, the 1999 with
some sort of game,
no,
present or something.
No, it was truffles.
Okay.
Truffles.
Pure truffle.
Truffles, proper truffles. This is the season for truffles and pasta, and the 2006. But basically, any of these wines will go with really nice, big, like you said, gamey, dark,
earthy flavors. And I think anything which is oaked tends to go really well with those earthy flavors, which is why, going back all those weeks and months ago, if you remember, one of our first lockdown live tastings where before we met the Jordans, we had the Jordan barrel fermented Chardonnay with the mushroom on toast canapé. Mushroom on toast with truffle, the earthiness with the barrel, the oakiness of the wine.
And also a big old cheddar.
Needless to say, we're both starving at the moment. So at this point, anything sounds great. Alice says she's got no canapes. But yes, we are going to wrap up. But it's lovely seeing everyone again. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed meeting Pedro and Angel or Angel. Their wines are utterly fantastic. And if you've only got one vintage at the moment, really recommend you try the others. Because they are superb. All of them very different, but brilliant. So cheers, everyone.
Enjoy your Rioja. Do not glug it. Enjoy every last morsel.
Should we have a top up?
Yes, let's
go. See you soon.
Nice to see you.
Cheers.
Bye everybody. Bye.